Hi guys, Madeleine Harvey here, and me and my Matilda Bangs would like to say thank you for checking out today's video. We're going to be talking about breath support as it pertains to the application of voice known as belting. We're going to focus on a combination of sensations that you can do at home that is going to really encourage a nice, healthy belt. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click the subscribe button below because I would love to see you here more often. This topic is a doozy. It's really big. We could spend all day going over why breath is so crucial to really good belting. But for the sake of time, let's just keep it really simple. And I'll say, we are wind acoustic instruments. So ain't nothing worth gonna happen without the breath. It is the foundation upon which our entire voice rests. And that means that as we're belting, if the support that is needed is not sourced from underneath in our bodies the entire time, we're going to need to compensate for that lack of support by pinching off at the throat. And that's what usually generates a lot of issues for belters. And these issues are completely avoidable with some really good breath support. So the first thing that we need to do is get a sense of our diaphragm. And the best way that I like to do this is to imagine that I'm hollow. Okay, so if you can, stand with me now and really take your mental awareness, your mind's eye, underneath your rib cage and just imagine that it's completely hollow in there. Good. Did you notice anything relax? Anything become heavy? Good. And you'll notice that immediately our diaphragm was able to release. Good. We know that the diaphragm needs to lower so that the lungs can fill up adequately. But the muscles surrounding need to be completely relaxed for that to happen. If they're tensed, the diaphragm cannot lift because there's stuff in the way. And we pull the breath in as a result. So, what I would like for you to do now is anchor your hips into the ground, okay? Nice and grounded and centered. Good. Now, from here, imagine that right above your hips, we're gonna wiggle. We're gonna move, 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 move. Like a belly dancer, right? Or like one of those crazy, wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube things that we see outside of pawn shops and car washes. Good. Now we're just noticing that movement is a wonderful way to encourage these muscles to disengage. Stay out of the way so the diaphragm can drop. So take a quick second and feel how good that feels. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's not a lot of craziness, just a nice gentle wiggle. Good, 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 good. So now that we have a sense of openness in our torsos, we're going to apply a focused breath to this scenario by using an F sound, like this. Oh, I just spit a little bit. Good. Let's try this together. Good. Wonderful. What this allows us to feel is to register that sensation of the diaphragm lifting totally naturally, just as a result of this F consonant. And it's great because we don't have to control it. We just observe. So let's try 2 long Fs and then 4 quick Fs like this. Take your time with it. Let's do it together. Here we go. Really, really, really good. As we work with this F sound, it's very important to keep that mental imagery of being open in the body active. We do not want to create collapse. It makes it harder, okay? So with this combination of long and short Fs, it's a wonderful way to activate the breath prior to singing. So I would recommend that you kind of work that into your warm-up routine. It's a really great way. But you want to make sure that your focus is making your body as open as you can so that diaphragm can get that action that it needs. So now let's apply voice to this scenario. And I'm gonna give you a different mental image to focus on here. And that is the sense that there is a big tube inside of our body that extends from our solar plexus all the way up to our throat. So take one hand, put it on solar plexus, one hand, put it on throat, and connect those dots with your awareness, with that feeling of openness. Good, 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 good. Again, opening the body. Excellent. Good. So now we're going to imagine that right under our tube is a little elevator. Like we know I'm talking about the diaphragm, but I really want to get a little bit more specific for you. We do not need just fussiness from the abs. We want to feel the impulse, the lift from the diaphragm happening in the very center of our being. Very center, core of our being, right under our diaphragm. So we feel, good, lift, lift, good. This will give you a more crisp, fuller sound as you belt as well. Cool. So let's put those two together using a ma sound. We're going to lengthen the M forward into our mask to land into our face, and we're going to imagine the sense of the tube and the elevator. But it's very important to remember that the tube stays open as the elevator lifts. We do not want to create collapse, okay? Nice and open, feel your tube. And we're gonna go, ma, ma. Good, it doesn't have to be that note or even that loud. Just pick a note that you're comfortable with, but feel openness here and lift underneath. Ma, ma. Really, really important to register that openness in the throat and in the body. Very good. Very, very, very good work. Feel the lift of the diaphragm. Keep your exhale nice and even. There's not a lot of pressure that's building up on the inside of the body. Another really great thing that you can do to practice your breath support is to take your lip trill, that rolling B sound like this, and sustain it on one sound and crescendo and decrescendo. Crescendo and decrescendo. Now that just simply means grow louder, grow softer, grow louder, grow softer. This will help keep your diaphragm engaged and your air nice and focused. So we're gonna try this together. We're gonna go. Good, now let's try this together. Good. Whew, good, very, very good. That one's a sneaky one. It's a little more difficult. But it's really, really great because, again, it keeps pressure from building up in the throat, which is something that a lot of belters encounter, and it keeps any gripping from happening. But this video is all about breath support. So far, let's go over what we've talked about. We've talked about getting a sense of the diaphragm with that feeling of openness. Then we've applied the focus of the breath through an F sound. And then we concentrated on the feeling of a tube and the elevator through a ma sound. And then we did the crescendo and decrescendo with the lip trill. I really want to encourage you that as you play with this breath support, it's very important to work incrementally, meaning we don't want to just be loud right away. Sometimes we need to work up to it. We know that belting is, in essence, using the fullness of our voice, but we need to develop balance and openness. Those are the two essences that I really want you to focus on today. Balance and openness. That openness is really going to introduce you to a lot of the presence in your sound, okay? So that way you don't have to push so hard. Support. Get very sensitive to that feeling of support coming from underneath with the diaphragm, and I guarantee you, your belting will take on a whole new level of aliveness. And feel free to spend as much time with these concepts as you want to, and come back to this video as often as you need to until breath support, really helpful, healthy breath support becomes habits for you. Really good job today, guys. I'm really, really glad to have you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. There is a complete lesson on breath support that I have available on my website. I will include a link below so that you can click on that link to learn a little bit more about that lesson to keep you practicing at home. Thank you so much. If you liked today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click the subscribe button below because I would love to see you here more often. And if you have any ideas of vocal tips and tricks that you would like to learn, well, I would love to hear from you. So please be sure to leave it in the comments portion of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!